Hello my friends, and as always, thank you so much for coming by my channel today. I greatly appreciate you taking time out of your day to come hang out with me and listen to me talk about knives, okay? Here's the next knife in my collection that I'm going to show you guys and share my thoughts on. It really doesn't need that much of an introduction because it is a very well-known and very well-loved knife among EDC, the EDC community, knife lovers, carriers, collectors. It is, of course, the Benchmade Bugout, also known as the Benchmade 535. All right, so that's the model number, I think, or the model, the numerical designation. All right. Anyway, so this knife has, well, since it's come out in 2017, has taken the knife world by storm, because it has become incredibly popular and a very, just a favorite among the EDC community, and for many good reasons. Of course, we're going to talk about some of those reasons right now. Okay, so I'll give you guys a little bit of information about, specs and whatnot. I'm not going to give you detailed specs because I think that's kind of boring. You can check that out down below. I'll put a link down in the description as to where I got mine, and so you can see all the measurements and stuff there. However, I will say we have a blade here that is about 3¼ inches, which is awesome because it is large enough, in my opinion, to be considered like a full-size EDC. Now, everyone has different opinions about what constitutes a large blade or a small blade. For me, anything bigger than 3 inches, I consider to be full size for an EDC knife. Anything between 2.5 to 3 inches, I consider to be, compact, and anything less than 2.5 inches, I consider to be small. And you know what? That's basically how I look at my knives. I'm sure you guys have your own opinion on, how you group the different measurements of blades into whatever categories, sizing categories, but that's how I do it. So in this particular knife has an awesome size, okay? The ideal size for me is 3 inches. 3¼ is totally fine. So it's awesome. It's got a length that's extremely capable. All right, you can do a lot with this length blade. Food prep, open any type of packaging, maybe a little bit of whittling or woodwork. All types of cutting tasks, this length is very good for. And what makes the Bugout so amazing is its edge geometry, actually the blade geometry in general. This thing is super thin. Well, like I said, I don't have the exact measurements. You can go check that out. There's plenty of information on the internet about this knife because it is a well-loved knife. It's also a little bit polarizing, and we are going to talk about that. So super, super thin. And what you have is an awesome high flat grind blade, and it tapers to a super, because the stock is so thin, the actual material behind the edge is very, very thin. So this thing is an amazing slicer, and it comes in a standard version of this knife, which is this one here. It comes in S30V. CPM S30V, so that is a fantastic steel. I've always enjoyed that steel. I've had no problem sharpening it or stropping it or anything like that. So I really like S30V. It's a little bit of a dated premium steel now because it's been around for a while, and there are so many other premium steels now. But this one here is great, and Benchmade does a very good job with their S30V. And I got my Benchmade, I got this Bugout in 2019, and I believe they are still putting the same exact steel on this knife. In fact, I think this knife is exactly the same today as it was in 2017 when it came out. I don't think they've changed anything about it. Yeah, so fantastic blade, and I just want to show you guys, I have not... get a piece of paper here. I have not sharpened this thing or stropped it in a very, very long time. This is basically a very well-loved user knife for me, and it is extremely, just extremely sharp. I mean, very, very, very slicey. Just want to try something here. I don't know if you guys can see this. Oop, a little bit of grabbing there. I think that's user error. Let me see. Yeah, it is just amazingly sharp. And like I said, I've done nothing to this blade in a very, very long time. I'll probably end up stropping it tonight after this video, but fantastic edge retention and very, very sharp. And you know something? I don't think it would even matter what kind of blade steel you put on here. You know, you could put, what is it? 8CR13 MOV. You could put, you know, any one of those budget steels on this blade geometry, and it is going to cut extremely well because it's just such a nicely designed blade and has excellent geometry. So moving on, we have the axis lock, which is used to be a proprietary Benchmade thing. However, that patent ran out a while ago, so a lot of people have, sorry, there's some yucky stuff on the edge of this plate here. A lot of companies have actually designed their own version of the axis lock. And so it's all over the place now. But Benchmade was, I think, the company that developed that locking mechanism, and it's awesome. It's just really awesome. It's just so easy to use. Mine is actually a little bit on the tight side, as you can see there. It didn't actually like fall shut. And that's actually how I like my axis locks. I have had very bad luck in the past with fall shutty axis locks. Basically, like, you know, when you pull the blade, pull the lock down like this and the blade just falls. It's fallen on my fingers a bunch of times. So some people like their action on an axis lock to be like that. I don't. So I'm okay with it being a little bit on the tight side, but I have no problem using this. It's so easy to use and ambidextrous, which is awesome about this knife. You have a two-way pocket position here. So if you are a lefty, you have dual thumb studs, and the axis lock is ambidextrous. So fully ambidextrous knife. So that's awesome. Moving on to something that is a little bit controversial, I should say, about this knife. Actually, very controversial. These scales are made out of a material that is called grivery or grivery, however you want to call it. Essentially, it's just a plastic, you know, a type of polymer. It is very durable, I must say. I've never had a problem with grivery. It's a very comfortable handle material for me. I really like it very much. And the reason why it is used on the Bugout is because, and this is very important to understand, I think, when trying to determine whether or not this knife is for you, is the whole point of the Benchmade Bugout is to be an ultra lightweight, ultra easy to carry, slim, low profile EDC knife. And I think that is very important to understand before you shell out the money for one of these. A lot of people have purchased this knife in the past and probably will continue to purchase it in the future, and they really dislike it because what happens is, my guess is they want to buy a Benchmade knife because they hear Benchmade is a great brand. They go, they research what's like the most popular Benchmade knife. The Bugout comes up. They, without doing that much more research other than that, they just pay the money. They get it. They get it in their hands, and they're like, oh my God, this is not what I imagined I would be purchasing. Because when you feel this knife for the first time, it feels like nothing. And going back to the grivery scales here, they use this material to get that that lightness. Now, this knife weighs 1.8 ounces exactly. I think that's what it's advertised at, and on my scale, that is what it comes in at. And that is amazingly light, especially considering the blade size and the handle size here. And that's one of the great things about the standard Bugout is, and I say standard because they have a mini one now, and they also have a bunch of other premium versions of it with different materials and a different blade. This model here is the standard version, the base model standard Bugout, the one that started it all. And so, what was I saying? Yeah, so considering how light this is at 1.8 ounces, it is amazing because you get essentially a full-size, very capable blade with this awesome geometry and an awesome premium steel, and you get a handle that has plenty of room for you to grip in different ways, however you like to grip it, and that will fit a variety of different hand types and sizes because it's very neutral in terms of its ergos, you know what I mean? There's not a lot of crazy contouring here or anything, or cutouts that forces your hand into a particular position. You can hold it the way you want, and there's still plenty of room. As you can see here, there's a lot of the knife. This is how I hold my Bugout, and as you can see, like I said, there's a lot here still left. So for the weight and the slimness that you get here and this feather light feel, it is a very capable knife. Now, is it made for hard use? No, it is not. It is made for everyday carry, so EDC. Light, I would say light to medium use, right? That's light to medium use. I'm sorry. That's what I would use this knife for, and that's what I've used it for, and it has worked amazingly well. And so if you're looking for that type of knife that is feather light, not just light, feather light, and has a very easy to carry setup, this is going to be something that you're really going to enjoy. If you're looking for a beefy, hard use or heavier use, thicker, more substantial knife, then this is not even going to be close to what you're looking for, so don't even bother. So I think that's very important to understand, and I will move on from that point now. One of the things that makes it so damn light, like I said, is this grivery or plastic, but also it has no internal liner. And the grivery itself, or grivery, however you want to pronounce it, has been heavily milled out. And there's no backspacer. You just have these two anodized blue, which is beautiful, in my opinion, barrel spacers. You got some jimping here. So it is incredibly lightweight construction, but I think it is very, very durable. I've had no problem with this. I've had this knife in situations where I was really bearing down on it. Not incredibly hard. It's not like I was out bushcrafting with it or anything, but I've been bearing down on this knife and blade, and I've had no problems with it. There's no blade play. There's no nothing. It's very solid. So for lightweight to medium use EDC, this is going to be awesome. Now, for me, one of the reasons why I like it so much is it's like, oh, that's my daughter. She's waking up. One of the reasons why I like it so much is like when I work in the office, I'll just take this thing, slip it into my slacks, and that's it. You know what I mean? I have a very capable, essentially full-use EDC that is in a very thin, lightweight form that like I barely even feel in my slacks. And so if you wear like athletic shorts or pants a lot or slacks, this knife is great. Also, if you're considering backpacking and you're some of those people that really count their ounces, this is great for that. So yeah, I love the Bugout. I mean, it's been such a great use knife for me. I mean, I've had so many good experiences with it since I've gotten it, and I love it. Would I buy another one? Yes, absolutely. However, there is a little, actually I should say a major downside to this knife. Major downside, and I do want to talk about it for a minute, and then we'll end the video. The price, okay? When I bought this back in 2019, I think I paid about $129 for it. And I thought that was a ton of money for this knife. Now, I knew about the featherlight construction. and the no liners and the, I knew what this knife was intended to be, and I wanted it for that. And the price was heavy at the time, man. Very, very heavy. And I was like, oh, man, I don't know. And, I paid the $130, and I haven't looked back since. And I love it. Now, fast forward to today. Oh, boy. All right, prices have gone up drastically on a lot of things, and the knives have been no exception to that. And if you go onto Blade HQ, which I'll link down below, that's where I got mine many years ago, or Knife Center. You go to whatever major retailer you want and look at the retail price, what they're asking for now for this knife. I gotta take a breath. $162. That is a lot of money, guys, for this knife. A lot. And even though I like this knife so very much, and I have had such great experience with it, and I will continue to carry this knife because it's awesome. It's awesome for what I need it for, and for what I do with my knives. That's a lot of money, man. And so it took me a lot to bite the bullet when it was $130. For $162, man, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure it is worth it because there are a lot of other options now for between the, I don't know, $70 to $100 range that are using materials that are equal to, if not better than this. I just saw a knife the other day. I really can't remember what company and what model, but it was G10 and S35VN steel. Beautiful design, very, very nice knife. At least a lot of really good positive reviews, and it was $78. So, oof, I don't know, Benchmade. That's a lot of money for this. Yes, it is U.S. made. That is definitely something that drives up the price. These guys are made in the United States of America. I think with all U.S. materials, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, I can see how the price would be higher than, its competition. However, that's a lot. I was floored when I saw that price. I just, my jaw dropped. Something too, what I want to say before I wrap up this video, Spyderco, obviously another major American manufacturer, they raised their prices also, but they've done certain things, little things that have, I won't say justify the raising of prices, but have given you a little bit more. And I'll give you a real quick example. The Para 3, I think originally came out in S30V. And obviously the price on the Para 3 has come up. But they've given you a better blade steel now. It doesn't come in S30V anymore. I think it comes in S45VN. And that's awesome. That steel is incredible. So yeah, you're paying more for a Para 3 now, but at least you're not getting the same exact stuff. So yeah, that's really important. If money's not an option for you guys, yeah, this is a great knife. Go out and buy it. If money is something that is, I didn't mean to say an option for you. I meant to say if money is not a consideration. Like if $162 is not a lot of money to you, then go for it. If that is a lot to you, which it is to me, I would probably consider something else now. But if you can get one for a good deal, maybe secondhand or very, very lightly used or something for around $100 or something like that, I would say go for it. You will not be disappointed. Plus, there's a lot of aftermarket parts and cool things that you can do to the Bugout now to really make it your own. Like the standard version, like I said, just comes in this blue grivery and the S30V, but they have so many variants of this now. There's been sprint runs and exclusives. There's been an M4 steel exclusive. There's S90V standard from the factory now. S110V, I think. I think there's been I think there's been an M390 variant, maybe, oh, there's a 20 CV. You know, there's been everything, and then you can get pretty much any scale material you want now for this thing. So if you don't like this super feather light feel, you can upgrade to titanium if you want. You know, you'll have to spend more money for that, but it makes it fun. And I have actually been thinking about taking my Bugout and getting some titanium scales and maybe doing like a purple anodization on it. I think that would be really cool. This Bugout has seen a lot in the past few years, so maybe it's time to give it a little bit of a tune-up. Anyway, thank you so much, guys, for coming by here and watching my video. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you got some useful information. And till next time, stay safe and enjoy this hobby, and I will see you soon. Okay, bye. Peace.